Alright guys, so while we're letting that soak, we're letting these guys soak a little bit. Alright, so with this guy, went with Brian Tooley LS7 lifters and trays. Just heard that's a really good upgrade for reliability. This original motor had like, I don't know, 200,000 something miles on it. So this is a good upgrade. Make sure you always get the trays. Get trays of new lifters. It all comes in the kit through Brian Tooley Racing. The nice thing about these guys' kit is all the lifters come in a tray. So we can just dump them in the tray, let them soak in oil just to make sure they're lubricated before they go in the engine. They generally recommend soaking them in mineral spirits or stuff like that to kind of break down the grease. We're just using brake cleaner in this instance, just to clean them off and get everything going. And then we're going to put all the lifters after cleaning back in here and let them soak for a little bit. And then we're just going to let them soak in some oil. We're letting that soak. We're letting these guys soak a little bit. We kind of had an unfortunate change of plans as far as the front timing cover goes. I'll put a picture up above, but basically don't buy cheap Chinese timing covers. It's nothing against Speedway factory or anything, but we did have some issues. I know previously we talked about the timing cover had pre-plumbed, pre-welded drain plugs for the turbos. So when we were screwing on the fittings, unfortunately, I guess the welds were super weak. I mean, it's an aluminum cover, so it was already weak. And the weld broke off of the timing cover. And so I pulled the cover off, and we also noticed one of the welds was already cracked before we'd put the fitting on to block it off. So we ended up having to return that, and we just kind of scratched the idea. Luckily, well, it's kind of bright out, come on. Luckily, we were able to overnight one. Shout out to these guys. They overnighted us one, just a standard wrinkle black finish, you can kind of see. So we went through the whole process again of uninstalling and reinstalling. Nice thing is, if you can see, it's kind of hard to see down there. Nice thing about this one, no clearancing required on the water pump bolts. Just because the fitment's a lot better, so the cover doesn't protrude as much from the engine. So I guess if you're gonna end up using the Speedway one, just you'll have to clearance that, but in our case we're not using it anymore, so no clearancing is required on it's just a normal stock F-body water pump. So that guy tucks in there nice. So we're just gonna let these guys soak for a little bit. get these lifters and trays in. We just got these heads back from the machine shop. We're going to be running the stock 862s just with some mild porting. We're going to swap out these springs to some higher lift ones for our cam, but these guys turned out sick. So on this guy, shout out to Brian Tooley Racing. We're running pretty much all their stuff on this build. We just got their stage 2 LS1 cam. So we're gonna let these guys soak, get them on, and then we will end up getting the heads installed and torqued down. Alright, so we just finished getting these guys. Just let them soak for a couple hours in some oil. So Gabby's gonna put them in. Hold on. So we're making sure, show the other side. So we're making sure that that little oil hole, we're having them both facing into each other. So let's see. Yep. So oil holes facing in towards each other. Sweet. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Yep, there you go. Cool. So we got them both fitting each other. And we're going to gently line them up. Shouldn't be that much resistance. Let's see. There we go. Okay, now you should be able to just, yep. Boom. And then just gently we're going to push them into the cam. You're cute, baby. Into the cam.
Here, click.
Into the cam. Boom.
This one is down.
Nope, that's good. Because you don't want to put too much pressure, because then you'll mess up the roller. Alright, then we're going to put that guy in. And just kind of snug it up. And then, so for these guys, 106 inch-pound, so just a little more than hand tight. Yep, let's see. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. 106. Boom. Sweet. And then we're just going to repeat that process for all of them.
Get mildly toes in there.
Oil holes facing in toward each other. Sweet. And kind of wiggle wobble. Don't want to force them. Nope, this side's not in. There you go. Ooh, got my finger going. Alright, so now that we got those done, we're going to move on. Kind of already did one set of the springs just kind of as a test run. And it's kind of a good thing. It's kind of a good thing that I did a little test run. One, if you get the same tool, which everyone uses off of Amazon, the pictures are wrong. Just has the wrong angle on the tool when using the spring compressor. And two, there's kind of a weird thing with the Brian Tooley valve seals. So they don't go flush, which a lot of people, I mean, they had pictures on their website too of them being flush, but I was doing some research, and those guys say that there's usually a 1/4 inch or less gap between the bottom of it and where the valve seal goes. So I'll show you guys kind of how that looks. Is on this guy, they say to put the silver part on top, black part on bottom. The problem is it's the wrong angle. So what I found is if you put the silver part on the bottom. Oh no! Alright, put the silver part on the bottom, and then this guy, just gonna put into these holes. Screw these guys in. Screw this guy in, and then you're gonna want to just kind of center this. We're gonna tighten these down. These guys pretty much just snug them up hand tight. We're going to take this guy right here and then kind of just line it up so it fits the natural curve of it. Line it up, tighten it. We'll take a 14. And just keep going. Now you can see them start to coming off. So when they start falling apart like that, just take a magnet and boop. Pull them off. Pull that guy off. And then we'll just loosen it up. And then the spring should just pop out. Throw those to the side. And then what I do is I'll just take some needle nose and just kind of wiggle it, walk it off, and boop. That guy's out. And then you can always, if you need leverage, I always like to keep this on because then you can kind of pull it up against it so you're not messing up the sides. Boom, that guy's off. So, in the kit, got the valve stem seals. And then we got these two plates for the bottom. So we're gonna drop these guys in. So you can kind of tell the valves, they're kind of falling in and out. So from what I've seen, the easiest way is just put a rag underneath where the valves are kind of bunched up, and then that'll keep the valves pushed up so you don't have to worry about them. So we're going to take these two guys and drop them down, and then the guys over at Brian Tooley recommend just a 12 with the mallet. We're going to slide it over, make sure you don't hit this little spring. So you want to make sure it's kind of straight on. There's a little spring right there. Make sure it's straight, and then we're just going to give it a little tap until it doesn't want to go down anymore. Give it a little tap. And so the thing I've noticed, it's kind of hard to tell. If this thing will focus. Oh, I don't think it wants to focus. We'll see if it will. But you can tell, I'll just put a picture up here, but you can tell there's a little tiny gap right here, about 1/4 inch, which Brian Tooley said is totally okay. It's just the way they do it. So like that one piece design is obviously gonna be everything's flush, but these guys, since it's a 2-piece design, it'll be fine with a little gap. Like they said, you don't want to force it because then you'll break this little rubber piece, and it might be kind of a little weird because you're thinking this is gonna move, but once we put the spring on, it's gonna hold that plate down, so we should be good. Alright, so in these guys, orientation doesn't matter too much because they're gonna get pressed down. I just like to put the ones that are kind of naturally flat down there just so they fit nice. We got them right there. And then the kit has these, and you can tell compared to the stock ones, these guys have an extra lip which will fit kind of both sets of rings because you have dual springs, so there's a little lip for that second spring that's on the inside. So we're gonna put that face down, that way they can fit into each other. Then we're gonna do the same process. And then this, you're gonna wanna try to get them lined up as best as you can beforehand. And then kind of hold it in place while you're tightening it down. Now we're going to compress it. Sweet, so you want to get it right below that little ridge. If the valve is still kind of in there far enough, if it's in there too deep still, it probably fell out through the other side. So make sure your rag's kind of holding it up. And then we're going to take these guys, little half moons, and we're going to put them just over that lip. Boom. And if they don't want to stay, you can always just put a little dab of oil. Takes a little finesse on them. There we go. Alright, so that one's in. And we're going to put this guy. That guy, and so it looks like it's a little off, so we're gonna just slightly move it. Boom. Boom. So those guys are in. And then we're going to kind of just slowly loosen it and kind of just, if you need to assist them on while we're tightening it, you can. And then they should just kind of pull each other up. And so if you did it successfully, these guys should stay compressed. Take this guy off, and boom. Now we'll just move on to all the rest of the other guys doing the same thing. Hey Google, play Spotify.
Thank